Today we are going to be talking about an essential machine in the agricultural sector. And if you guessed it right from the title, we are going to be dissecting the cassava/gari processing machine. Yes, this is that machine that deals essentially with cassava, and we all know that cassava is a staple food in Africa and especially in West African countries. And a lot of you have been coming to the comment section and asking more about that machine. So today you are going to be served. If you don't know, the cassava machine is that machine that converts raw cassava into various products, with gari being one of the most popular. And here, go getters, stay tuned to this video, for you might just be surprised to notice that this cassava that some people neglect actually produces almost 10 different products that we use on daily basis. So if you are one of those who've been craving for this video, get a pen and a paper, for I am going to be giving you everything you need. All right, so for the first part, I will be giving you the various products derived from cassava. Secondly, we are going to be talking about the complete production chain and how it works. And for the third part, we will be addressing the most profitable markets or countries, and we are going to be ending with business strategies that you could apply for the first 3 years of your business. So before we get into that video, if you are new here, my name is Evin Jig, and I have taken it as a personal mission to make sure that you attain your financial independence as soon as possible. So if you are ready for that, please do well to like this video already and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I also invite you to go to our playlist and try to catch up on everything we've done so far. And if you don't know, here on Africa Today, we've got joint ventures that you can join. All right, so if this is something that catches your interest, you can just check on our about page and you're going to find the link to our membership on there. So without wasting much of your time, let's get straight into the video. So here's the list of the various products you could derive from the cassava processing machine. So the first is obviously the gari that a lot of people know. All right, this is something that is a common snack in Africa that people treasure so much. So you could still call it fermented cassava flour. All right, next on, we've got the cassava flour itself. Yeah, that some people use for various reasons. Some people use it for baking, some use it to cook as fufu or whatever they may call it. And thirdly, we've got the cassava starch. Yeah, cassava starch could be used for dresses and many other things. Fourth, we've got the tapioca. This is mostly common in countries like Gabon and Gambia. Next on, we've got cassava pellets, and we've also got the famous cassava chips that some brands have been coming up with recently that people really love. Another product we've got is a dough-like cassava product that is called the fufu. Yes, this is something consumed by a lot of African countries, and even here in Cameroon, we do consume cassava fufu a lot. And last but not the least, this one is mostly for industrial use. We've got cassava ethanol. Yes, so we've got 8 various products that you could actually produce with this machine. That said, let's now move to the complete production chain and how it works. So the first thing you need to know is that a complete production chain of a cassava processing machine is made up of 7 different parts. You could as well call it 7 different machines or whatever. All right, and bear in mind that you mustn't buy all the complete chain. All right, there are some people who just go for some of them or the main ones if their budget is limited. So if a machine is dispensable for you, please, you don't need to get it. All right, but if you've got the money to get the whole production chain, that will be the best, for it is actually going to make things easier for you and maximize time. All right, so the first machine is the cassava peeling machine. So this is something that some people do get away without. All right, they employ humans to peel the cassava, but if you've got the money and you want to save up time, I would advise you get it. Secondly, we've got the cassava washing machine. All right, when the peeling machine peels the cassava, it sends it to the washing machine that does the washing. And some people will still think that it is not really necessary, especially for those who are beginning with their investments and they don't have the money. You could actually exclude these first 2 machines. All right, third one, we've got the cassava grating machine. So this is something I think you can do without, all right? Even if you employ humans to do the peeling and the washing for you, it isn't really easy for humans to do the grating of the cassava. We are talking here of mass production, all right? You producing, let's say, gari in mass quantity and everything, you can't really cope with humans doing that. So this is some machine that I would advise you definitely get. So if you want to boycott some other machines, this is the machine you definitely need to start with in your production chain. Now, fourth, we've got the cassava pressing machine. Yes, this is something that is also, to me, I think is very indispensable, all right? Because after the grating, the cassava needs to be pressed. And for humans to do this, it is very strenuous, all right? So this is something you definitely need in your production chain. Fifth, we've got the gari frying machine. Yes, the gari frying machine is actually a large basin or bowl-like machine that does the frying for you. You know, unlike in those days where we used to do the frying with the hands, this machine does everything and maximizes time and also makes sure that the gari is evenly roasted or fried. Sixth, we've got the cassava flour milling machine. Yes, so if you're one of those who wants to produce a cassava flour, you definitely need this one, right? So seventh on our list, we've got the packaging machine, obviously. So you can't have a production chain without ending it with a packaging machine. And talking about packaging, I've got a video on the channel where I give you every details you need to know on packaging machine as a whole. So I'm going to be linking it here and in the comment section as well. So let's now go to the most profitable markets for this business in Africa, all right? So first off, we've got Nigeria. Yeah, obviously Nigeria should be on the list, right? The top on the list, because Nigeria is actually the largest cassava producer globally. So we can't talk of this without starting with Nigeria. Secondly, Ghana. Yes, Ghana is high in gari consumption. So Ghana should definitely be on your list. Thirdly, Cameroon. Yeah, Cameroon produces a lot of cassava also and a lot of gari as well. As a matter of fact, gari is one of staple snacks in Cameroon that we even call the savior. So next on, we've got Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast right now has a growing cassava sector that is not slacking any soon. Next on, we've got Uganda that equally has an increasing cassava production. Last but not the least, we are going to be thinking of the Democratic Republic of Congo, simply because they've got a large domestic market. So if you are in any of these countries or you want to invest into cassava processing, I think you should be targeting any of these countries if you want to maximize profit. There is this Nigerian guy, Adebayo, who started with a small gari processor and started supplying gari locally. And he had only a single gari frying machine. So he started his gari production and started supplying it locally. Mark you, 3 years later, he started supplying to other neighboring cities and expanded his production line. And right now he is supplying nationally and even exporting some abroad. And there's no way he could have done that without a full production line, all right? Because right now, as I am talking to you, he's got a full production line. And guess who helped him out with the production line? We, the Africa Today team, all right? So if you are interested also and you would love to get something like this, you can get to us on our email, africatodayinfo@gmail.com, all right? And I would therefore invite you to go to our membership, for there are lots of details on there that you might need, all right? We've got the details on the pricing and everything you will need to know on the membership, so you can check it out there if you are interested. So for Adebayo's case, his success came from the fact that he actually upgraded to a full production line, and also he maintained consistent quality and a good market strategy with our help, obviously. And last but not the least, what he also did to facilitate everything for him was to partner with local cassava producers, all right? He doesn't produce the cassava, but he has partnered with them and they supply their cassava to him and he just does the processing. So that goes to say you can go in that direction if you don't want to actually go and be tilling the soil and producing the cassava. You don't want to go through that hustle. You can just get farmers to supply to you and you just focus on processing. Now, goal getters, as concerns the business strategy that you could apply for the first 3 years of your business, I would advise for the first year that you focus on establishing a local market presence. Yes, try to invade the local market. Focus on that. Don't be distracted, all right? Focus on the local market for your first year. Build relationships with cassava farmers for a steady supply. That is, if you aren't producing cassava yourself, right? And even if you are producing, at times you could maybe not be capable of supplying the amount of cassava you need, so you could say partner with others to top it up for you. And for the first year, I would advise you just aim for 15 to a maximum of 20% profit, all right? Start slow, steadily, and go. So for the second year, I would advise you expand your distribution to neighboring regions. You can go ahead to introduce 1 to 2 new product lines. And by product lines, we mean things like, let's say you were maybe into gari. You could go ahead to add something like cassava flour, right? You could introduce cassava flour or maybe cassava chips to your consumers. So when it comes to profit margin for the second year, you could target 20 to 25%. That will be very, very feasible. Now, for the third year, you should be capable of considering export opportunities. Try to export your products out of your locality or out of your country already, all right? So that literally means that you should invest in increased production capacity, therefore making you aim for 25 to 30% profit margin. So by the third year, you should be capable of being up there, and you must have broken even already. So go getters, there you have it as concerns the cassava processing machine. If you've got questions, you could ask them in the comment section and I will be glad to answer them. And like I said, we've provided for you on our membership the prices, everything you need to know, the details about each unit of the production chain, their prices, and we've also given you a detailed step-by-step machine operation guide that you will definitely need, all right? So rush to our membership for all the details. So before we go, I've got one last advice for you, all right? If you are about to get this production chain, please be very explicit. All right. Most times the Chinese don't really speak English fluently, and we've noticed that there are often misunderstandings. At times you could order for something and don't be maybe specific about what you want, and they are going to be sending you something that you aren't going to be satisfied with. So I therefore advise that you take your time to make sure that they've understood exactly what you want. By the way, I've got videos that could as well help you, guide you on what and where to get these machines, all right? So I am going to be linking a video here that I advise you watch before proceeding to getting this machine or any other machine you might want to get, all right? That said, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you on my next one.